Polarizing power, polarizability, and covalent character. After this video, you should be able to rank cations in order of increasing polarizing power, should be able to rank anions in order of polarizability, and then rank similar molecules in order of covalent character based on this polarizing power and polarizability. Let's first define these terms. Polarizability comes into play when we're talking about the anion. If you have more electrons, that means that they are further away from the nucleus and they aren't as easily controlled by that positive charge in the nucleus. So since the nucleus has less pull on far-off electrons, the more energy shells you have, or the more electrons you have, the more polarizability. Also, the more negative charge you have, the higher electron to proton ratio, which means that there is not as much positive charge for each negative charge. This, again, makes the nucleus have less pull on the electrons, or a less effective nuclear charge, and so you have more polarizability. Now let's talk about polarizing power. We discussed this in terms of the cation. And the less electrons that you have, the closer everything will be to the nucleus. So the nucleus will have a larger effect on electrons that are near it, even if it's in a different atom, if they are closer to the nucleus. So less electron shells equals less shielding and more polarizing power. A more positive charge will lead to a higher proton to electron ratio, or in other words, more positive charge for each negative charge. And so that too will give it more polarizing power. So just to recap, the cation, which has polarizing power, will polarize the anion based on its polarizability. Now, the more polarizability and or polarizing power of the anion and cation leads to a more covalent bond. So this gives us another way to talk about ionic and covalent character. Which has more covalent character? Something like MgI or NaCl. So let's think about what we had before on the last slide. So here we have sodium with a +1 charge and magnesium with a +2 charge. And they are about the same size, they would be about the same, they have the same number of electrons. And so the magnesium having a +2 charge makes it smaller. Now, we can look at the ions, and we have chlorine and iodine. Iodine, which is much larger, and so much more polarizable. Chlorine, which is much smaller, much less polarizable. So the answer is MgI, since the Mg has more polarizing power, and the I is more polarizable. So in summary, now that you've seen this video, you should be able to rank cations in order of polarizing power. You should be able to rank anions in order of polarizability, and rank similar molecules in order of covalent character. We will practice some more of this in class.